5 hour psychology training. Earlier, we have studied psychology as a science. We have studied theories related to psychology. We have studied different subjects like developmental psychology, neuropsychology, social psychology. Now, let's delve more into psychology. Now, we are like bringing out particular topics. Okay, we'll now in coming sessions we'll try to get particular topics, and we'll try to like involve in mental health disorders, and we'll try to get involved in the what are the causes things, and where we'll try to get involved in the counseling perspective, how counselor should act, how counselor should communicate. So now from now on, the videos are going to be very particular about something. Okay, so some like specific topics and all. So now in this video we're going to, in day 5, we are going to study the psychology of motivation and goal setting. Okay, so this is very important for every student to be motivated. Okay, and if you know what motivation is, and if you understand the theory of motivation and the science behind motivation, how behaviors are get affected by motivation, and how we can like use the principle of motivations to get motivated, so it will going to help you in different ways, and it will going to help you, and it will make you a person who can help people with low motivations and with low drives. Okay, so basically, it is an internal compass which guides us to our aspiration. We aspire to believe, become someone. We aspire to do something, which is what we always need some energy, some fuel to get involved with that aspiration or to achieve that aspiration. So what motivation do is it provide you fuel, it provide you direction, and it provide you consistency to achieve your goal. Okay, so transferring your ambition. If I want to become a psychologist, there are a lot of people dream to become a psychologist, clinical psychologist, and want to become some any kind of like worker or anything they want to become in life. So what is the reason behind, like there are always, if you want to become someone, if you want to become something, you are not that thing right now. There's reality is not appreciating, reality is not there like supporting your dream or something. Okay, but if you get motivated, now you are so sure that you will going to become doctor, engineer, social psychologist, everyone, anything you want to become. Okay, so the reality and ambition, the difference, the bridge between your ambition and reality is motivation. If there's no motivation, then you just dream to become something. Okay, the ambition is just a dream. It is not your reality. It is not going to be your reality. Why? Because you are not motivated. And if you become something, if you become some like if you get involved in some subject or with some profession, still you will not be able to comprehend that subject, and you will not be able to like do some good things and some well thing in that subject. Why? Because you are not motivated to do or initiate something. You are not motivated. If you have initiated, you are not motivated to sustain something. Okay, so by knowing motivation, we can become architect of our achievement. If I want to achieve something, I'll like deploy some theories of I'll involve some theories of motivation. I'll get stuck to some motivation drives, intrinsic motivation, extrinsic motivation, which we are going to study in this video, which help you to architect your achievement. Okay, so you can become anything you want if you are motivated enough. We have seen, we already know what motivation is and why motivation is required. A lot of people when they feel low and they are less motivated, they can't perform well. So yeah, everything is clear about motivation. Now let's get involved in the technicality of it. There are two kinds of motivation. First, we have already discussed that motivation is what? Initiating a task, directing toward that task, and sustaining that task until you achieve it. Okay, if you want to achieve something and you just initiate and in the middle you just get lost, you are not going to achieve that thing. So you have to directing toward that goal also. At the same time, you have to sustain till you met that goal. Okay, if you haven't achieved that goal and you are not sustained to throughout the path of your goal, you are not going to achieve that goal. Okay, now there are two kind of intrinsic and extrinsic motivation. Intrinsic motivation is internal satisfaction. If there are values attached to your internal drives are attached to it, then you are motivated only. Okay, this is of my interest, I like doing it. Everything which you like is your intrinsic motivation. If anything, any goal have some intrinsic motivation, then person is inwardly by his inner self is directed toward that behavior and can sustain that behavior. But external extrinsic motivation on the other hand is the external reward or pressure, that you are going to pass this subject. If you get good marks in this subject, you will get recognition, if you will get scholarships and everything. So the physical part, the monetary benefits are the extrinsic motivation. Okay, so what you are getting from society and getting in return the rewards and everything is your extrinsic motivation, and what drives you inwardly toward that thing, that you are very passionate toward it, your passion. Okay, your passion is your intrinsic motivation. Okay, yeah. So align your pursuit with values and passion. If you have good values, if you have good values towards something, like if you want to become psychologist and your values say that psychology, you are convinced in your values that psychologists are doing good in their life, then you can get involved passionately to achieve that goal. This is what extrinsic and intrinsic motivation is. Now let's study some theories of motivation. First theory you already know, Maslow hierarchy of need, where he has said like there are 5 basic needs he has discussed, while like with every possible need satisfaction we travel to another, we transform to another need, and then we fulfill that, then we go to another. So person is motivated throughout life. Okay, first he want to achieve what? Physiological need. He want to get satiated, he want to get good sex, good food, good water. Okay, so he want to just get biological satiation he need in the first goal. When a person is biological satiated, now he needs something else. He needs safety for his family. Like my family should be healthy, my family should be safe in this environment. So they build houses, they build luxuries and everything, which is the second safety needs. Now after it, they want to become a part of, they want to get attached. They want, if the person is like building for himself only, they get involved in some other, like they involve more families, they involve more relatives, and this they want to get love and belongingness from a group. In social psychology we have studied that we identify from a group. In developmental psychology we have also studied that adolescents want to get involved in a group. So yeah, that belongingness is now the next need after safety, ensuring the safety of our family. We want to belong to a society, we want to belong to a group. This is what our next goal is, and this is why we are motivated after building a home. After that love and belongingness need is achieved, you are getting every love and belongingness you want, then you want some recognition from society, you want something from society, like I am serving the society, everyone should know me, my self-esteem is very important. So now you are working towards your self-esteem, what boosts your self-esteem, you are going to do that thing. So this is your next goal. This is how you are traveling motivatedly. So yeah, you initiated with what? You initiated with your physiological need, and now you are sustaining to get what? Self-actualization. Okay, so self-actualization is considered the last need. Traditional pyramid. After like few years, Maslow also developed another need in the hierarchy of need. It is transcendence. Okay, so self-actualization is serving to universe and getting spiritually inclined and getting everything, like now you have a goal in life, you have motto in your life, and now your life is not just aimless or something, and you are just continuously driving towards something. So first thing, two things which we haven't covered in earlier. Why? Because we have this topic now. First is self-actualization is not a stop where you have to just achieve it. Okay, it is also an ongoing process. Okay, it is also a process. You get involved in it and you just day by day achieve it. You just have a goal in life. You just have a need in life to serve the society, to serve the universe also. Okay, now what? Transcendence. Along with this traditional pyramid, there's another need, which is transcendence. Transcendence tell us about what? Now after achieving self-actualization, the person will develop a monk-like nature, and now he help other person to achieve self-actualization. If we see, if that person who have achieved self-actualization, see a person is stuck in love and belongingness need and cannot get fixed it, so he help him to get over it, to achieve that thing and get over it and pass on to next Next need. Okay, so now after self actualization there is another need which is transcendence. There's also a need which is said by other things, which is like need of aesthetics. Okay, along with that thing, person need to be aesthetic, the luxury, the beauty and every glamourless things, everything come in our aesthetic needs. Okay, so this is the Maslow hierarchy of need, which tells us about physiological safety, love, esteem and transcendence, and ongoing nature of personal growth. So it tells us that the personal growth, the nature to personal growth is just sustained to get needs fulfilled. Okay, so throughout the life you will get some fulfillments and you will motivated toward another fulfillments. This is what the crux of Maslow hierarchy of needs. Now there's another need, another theory of motivation by Edward and Richard. It is self-determination theory. They talked about, they debated about the intrinsic motivation. They tell that if there's intrinsic motivation, it is guided by, it is developed by three things: autonomy, competence and relatedness. Relatedness, competence, autonomy are required to get a good intrinsic motivation. If you want to get intrinsically motivated towards a goal, there should be autonomy. Autonomy is you have choice to select what you want to do. Okay, competence, you know that you can do it, you are competent with your ability to perform that task. The relatedness, now your values, your morals are also related to that task. It is autonomy, competence and relatedness which are tell in self-determination theory. Okay, if you have autonomy, if you have competence and if you have relatedness toward any goal, your intrinsic motivation will be high. And if you don't have these kind of like these three domains, your intrinsic motivation is low. For example, if you want to do a research paper, okay, research paper is a boring subject, no one want to develop a research paper or get involved in this research paper. But what if I tell you that you can choose from any subject and any population you can take and any problem you can take for your research paper? So first you have autonomy, you can decide what you want to do in your research. Second is, now you are able, if you the skill set you are having, if you are good with communication, if you are good with interviews and things, so will if you are good with psychological assessment, we are going to involve that thing in your research paper. So now you are competent that I have this capabilities and I can do it. Okay, and on the other hand, you are morally attached to it because the group is selected by you, the meaning to that research paper is selected by you. So now you have relatedness also. So now autonomy, competence and relatedness, with all these three things you will be intrinsically motivated. Another theory by Victor Broom is expectancy value theory. Okay, there are two things which are related for motivation, which are very important, are expectancy and value. What you are expecting. Okay, if there's a task and if you are expecting good from it, that I can do this, I expect I am going to score well in, or I can master that subject. Okay, if you can if there's a subject of, if there is exam of psychology, I am like, I can master a new subject right now. Okay, I can master some new topics, I can learn some new topics. So now there's expectancy is good. Okay, high expectancy and value, that I am going to get recognized if I deliver that lecture, and I am going to recognize if I clear that exam and pass with flying colors. So now high expectancy and high value will be high motivation, and low expectancy, I am not going to master anything, I will not be able to understand. Okay, I am not going to score well. So now expectancy and value are low. So now the person is going to be very low motivated and will not be able to achieve that goal further. Now another theory is goal setting theory by Edwin Locke. So Edwin Locke said that there is very important thing is that we have to develop, or we have to set a goal which is specific, challenging and achievable. Okay, so there are three things. Specific provide us clarity. Okay, that specific goal, I have to run this miles, or I have to score this much in this exam. So we are specific with what we want to achieve. Okay, so our goal is set, I want to do this much, so quantity is fixed. Now challenging, अब now there's a challenge कि yeah, no one has done it before, or if the world record is on 14 seconds, I want to do it in 13 seconds. Now you just bring some challenging stuff according to your competence. Okay, first you have a specific goal, then you bring some challenges to keep you motivated and brings you like dopamine surge and all. And third thing, out of these, you like according to your competency decide that goal. Okay, not just because you have to bring challenge, you will decide some goal which is not achievable. Okay, that I am going to hold my breath for 1 hour. Okay, it is not an achievable goal, very challenging but not achievable. So will I be motivated and will I be able to complete that task? No, I won't be, because at some point I will like feel like no, I don't know, like I just can't hold my breath right now. Okay, I don't want to. Okay, because I'm dying. It is not achievable goal. Okay, so your goal should be specific to provide clarity, challenging to provide motivation, and achievable to provide sustaining and like feedback and good feedbacks, and constructive feedback could be there, so you can achieve that goal. Okay, if there's that goal is achievable, then only you can going to last and until the achieving that goals. Okay, now there's drive reduction theory by Carl Hull. Carl Hull said that the physiological drive is motivation only. Similarly, if we relate with the psychological drive, we can we can hinder the motivation process. We can understand the motivation process and we can involve in the motivation process. If you want to drink water, okay, so understand a lot of debates are there whenever whenever a psychologist or anyone tell that hunger is a motivation or thirst is the motivation, people are like, no, they are a physiological need, they are biological needs. Yeah, they are need, but what if you are hungry? Then only you are going to get up and get food. Okay, and you are going to eat it until you get satiated. So this is a goal which you initiated. If you are not hungry, you are not going to stand up, you are not going to like leave your bed. Okay, so you initiated, sustained and achieved it, and when you achieved it, now there's drive reduction. Now you are not eating much. Okay, now you have stopped eating, you are not motivated. If I provide you some food and then I told you that like if you are full, and then I ask you to eat more, if we ask you to go to visit some place or some cafes where we can sit and eat, you are like, no yaar, I'm not much motivated, just go to some park because you can walk now. Okay, so that's how physiological needs are goal directed behavior, and they are motivation. So drive is there and drive reduction is there. Okay, so when there is drive, when there is need, when there's absence there is need, and when there's need there is drive, and when there's drive there is a goal, or there is a motivation. Okay, and then when the drive is fulfilled, the motivation will be low. Similarly, if you want to achieve something, so we have to pave a path and we have to deliver a path to a person. If we want to achieve something, so we have to deliver him a path of which where he used to do psychological stuff to get achieve that thing. I want to become a social icon, I want to become a leader. So there are theories of social psychology tells us to do things related to it. So if he want to become a leader, now he will follows our instructions psychologically. So this is how we can motivate a person, by knowing what goal he has, a psychological goal, similarly a psychological need he want. So similarly, as a physiological need, we replace it with psychological need, and we can provide a pave a path to get that. Now there's another thing, which is the power of goal setting SMART. SMART was SMART. SMART is specific. As in goal setting theory, we have said that specific task should be there, so you have clarity. I want to do this much amount of work in this is much. Measurable. It should be something which you can measure here and then. Like after if I am doing something, I can measure it another day. Why measurable? Because measurable provide you constructive feedbacks. Okay, constructive feedbacks help you to sustain. Next is achievable. As we already discussed, it should be achievable. If it is unachievable and it is something which is unreal, you won't be able to get motivated throughout your goal setting. Okay, now it should be relevant. There should be values attached to it. There should be your values which is attached to that task. So it will make you it relevant for you to perform that task. And the another thing which comes in mind, which is now in the scene, is time bound. It should be time bound, because if there's no time limitation, then it is just a task with no time limit, and it is going to be you are going to be like the Maslow hierarchy of need. It is going to be sustained, and it is going to be done in throughout the life here. Like I want to walk 12 miles, but not right now. So that is like I want to walk 12 miles. I have 12 days, I can walk 12 miles. I have 24 days, I can walk 500 millimiles. Okay, so this is how it works. So time bound is required, which transform your aspiration into actionable plan. Okay, so now your plan, whatever you want to achieve, now you have a plan. Why? Because you have specific clarity. Now you can measure it, you have constructive feedback, it is achievable, it is challenging also, it is relevant to your intrinsic motivation is also high, and it is time bound. Time bound sometimes brings challenge, which bring motivation also. Okay, so this is how you should set a goal. If you want to set your goal, particular divided in these domains. Okay, if you want to achieve anything, be specific what you want to achieve. Okay, how you are going to measure it, how achievable it is. Okay, is it unachievable, is it achievable? According to your competence, you can set. You can ask people, do you think I can? Okay, if the like your dear ones, like you can survey it out. Okay, people like, yeah, it is achievable, it is achievable. If I am like very motivated, so can I achieve it? Yeah, you can achieve it. You can't achieve it. Why? Because it is not achievable. You just used to know is it achievable or not. Then it is relevant. Obviously, if you are setting a goal, if you are setting something, and if you want to become something, it is relevant to you. That is why you are doing itna sara kaam. Okay, that is why you are doing this much of work. And time bound brings challenge, and that brings motivation in you. Okay, now there are barriers, okay, which stop you from like achieving your goal. Okay, your achievement are stuck because of some barriers. First barrier is procrastination. I'll do it because it is not time bound. Okay, procrastination is what? It is not time bound, and if it is time bound, it is not initiated yet. Okay, so there's some problem with cognitive structuring. Okay, so now if you want to avoid procrastination, first there should be small steps. Okay, if I want to read a book and I am procrastinating, then I don't want to read book, I'll read that book. It is just 50 pages, it is just 100 pages, I'll read that book. Okay, and now some friend want that. If I borrowed it from some friend and I borrowed it for 30 days. Okay, and there's just 50 pages. I was like, okay, I'll read 50 pages are only there. Okay, in 30 days I can easily read 50 pages. I'll read 2 pages a day. Then I haven't read for a day. Then I am like 3 pages a day. I'll read 3 pages, and it's just task of 5. Like I can read 10 pages, so it is just task of 5 days. I can read 5 pages. It's just task of 10 days. This is how we are just acting in our mind. We are not initiating anything. The first thing is to initiate something. There should be some small step. Okay, every day I'll read. Okay, today I'll read only one word or one line or one page, whatever is like the minimal goal is. Okay, I just want to start it with a small step. I'll read a line. Okay, or I'll read 1 or 2 lines, not more than that. So you can read that. Then another day you can another step, like I want to read 2 or 3 lines. Now you can get involved in that task. Okay, Pomodoro is the another technique where you create chunks of it, and you have do with chunking. The chunking is there. So yeah, Pomodoro is also there, and cognitive restructuring is there. If you like, I can do this task in this much time, you have a structure of your cognition which tells you your competences like this. So you have to restructure not according to your competence. We are not questioning your competence. Don't question your competence, but yeah, it is a task which should be achieved. If I'm not achieving it in a time bound manner, then what my competence is of use? Okay, if I am a really good singer, but I'm not going to practice for 10 days, and I'm not going to remember the song. Okay, so if I don't know the lyrics, I am really good singer, but what I am going to recite in the what I'm going to perform then. Okay, another thing is fear of failure. I am going to fail. It is very, there could be some trauma attached to some experiences, some task. If there's a task, in a lot of movie, and like in the Welcome movie, we have seen that he was very frightened with the horse, but he was very motivated doing movies. So yeah, there was there was a thing where he wasn't able to achieve what he want to do. Okay, so the thing is ki exposure therapies works very well, CBT also works very well, and focus on your effort. Okay, the thing is ki in that movie also, he was like ki, I want to become an actor and I have done so many scenes and now this is the only scene, I just feared it. So he has focused on effort, that I have done it so much and so good and I am competent also, but there's just one fear. So now you can set another goal to get rid from that fear. Systematic desensitization is there, exposure therapy is there, where you just day to day in your day, you involve that fear in your day to day life. You just introduce yourself with that fear, and with a daily basis you increase the frequency or accuracy of that fear, and now you get achieve that fear by exposure therapy. Now you just uh, get rid of that fear. Okay, or fear of failure is also there, that I'll fail and that it is going to be very worse, people are going to scream at me. But anyway, if you are not going to perform, I mean, if you are not going to appear in an exam, similar kind of reactions is going to be there. Okay, so your effort matters. So this is what you can get rid from your fear of failure. Now there is lack of clarity. So smart goal, we have understood, smart goal provide us clarity. Okay, breaking down the task. If you want to do like in Pomodoro techniques and stuff, what we do is we break down the task. We are not doing the task at all at once for all. Okay, we are breaking the task in small chunks and then we are approaching the task. Seeking guidance. There is a lot of things, like you want to become a psychologist. No, you don't want to, you don't know how to become a psychologist, what psychologists do, what is psychology, you know nothing about it. So you are taking guidance from Youvah, you are taking guidance from Chitve. This is what it is. Seeking guidance can also brings you clarity. After this course, there is might possibility you want to continue in this field or you don't want to continue in this field. Okay, so now, but still, in any case, you have clarity now, what you have to achieve and what you don't have to achieve. Now there's come a very important role of habits and routine. If you form habit and routine, it is going to automate your behavior. You are doing it like a machinery, you are doing it like with so much ease. If you have good habits, like keystone habits and consistent routines. Keystone habits are the habits which are like daily exercising, or some which are there for your which are attached with your values, which provide you intrinsic motivation. These are your keystone habit. Consistent routines, that I'll going to do this thing at that time. So time bound it is. Again, there is a like it is consistency is there, like with every consistent effort I am going to get achieving another goal. So consistency bring goals. So yeah, consistent routines helps you. Another is habit stacking. If you developed some habit of something, now you attach another habit and you join them habit, so you get leverage from already established habit. Okay, so one habit you have already done, another habit you introduce with along with that habit to leverage your next habit from your earlier habit. Reducing friction. There are a lot of time while forming a habit. If you want to go to gym in early morning, so first when you wake up, there's a lot of procedure, like you have to change the, like you have to wear gym wear, wash yourself and eat something. And if you prepare your meal, if you start preparing your meal, like you soak some seeds or something in night, if you if you took out your dress, your gym wear in front of you, like you already are ready. So now there's a less friction. What friction is? If there's a task and the task procedures are frictions, can act as friction. Your ultimate goal is going to gym, But this like wearing gym wear, washing yourself, having a good meal, everything is just friction. Okay, if there's like you are not sleeping well, it is also a friction. So you should sleep well, you should, so this is how you reduce friction, and which will help you to get motivated, and which will help you to achieve your goal. Tracking your progress. If you are doing everything but you are not tracking your progress, how far you have come, so that's nothing matters. Why? Because you have tried everything, you have done everything, but you lost a track, you lost the count of what you are doing. So now that also sometimes help, sometimes like sometimes it create problems in sustaining. Okay, you can't sustain you because you are not tracking progress. And also with tracking progress there comes a feedback. Okay, so there is feedback you are getting, so constructive feedback can also help you to sustain. And by doing all this, you can create a sustainable foundation of your behavior. If you like sustainable foundation is like I am doing this thing, this is my routine and this is my habit, and while doing this keystone consistent routine, habit stacking, reducing friction, tracking progress, by doing all these tasks and by doing all these processes, now you have developed, you will create a sustainable foundation for your behaviors. Now it is sustainable. Whatever you are doing, you can do it for as long as you want. Okay, so this is all of habits. Practical applications of, now let's understand what are the practical applications of our motivation. Application in education, workplace, health and personal development. You understand education. In education, if we are involving smart goals in curriculum, if we are involving intrinsic motivation, extrinsic motivation, we are providing extrinsic motivation in classroom activities and stuff, so it will help in education. Similarly, extrinsic motivation will help in workplace, where Amazon parcels are and Amazon rewards and some tokens are provided to in workplace to again bring intrinsic motivation. And values and morals of every company also develop intrinsic motivation. Health, in health sector, the routine things and habit things we have seen help in health sectors also. And personal development, obviously, if these all things are what, these all things are connected to you, so these will also help you in personal growth. Example, students' academic goals, entrepreneurial success, everything intrinsic and extrinsic. Now you can understand what is intrinsic motivation and what is extrinsic motivation. So you will now, any task if anyone is doing, now you are able to understand what kind of motivation is there and what kind of lack of motivation is there, and how it can be improved. So now transformative potential of these principles, like all the principles we have transformative potential. It can help you to transform, it can help you to help people transform. Okay, so this is how motivation is going to help. Wrapping up, we have seen recap of motivation goal setting principle. We have understood how to set a goal. We have understood what is motivation, what are the theories of motivation, overcoming barriers like procrastinations and clarity, lack of clarity, cultivating intrinsic motivation. We have like 3 or 4 times we have talks about how to increase your intrinsic motivation. In theories also we have developed how to increase intrinsic motivation. And embracing your personal growth and achievement. When you are doing so good and when you are so content and when you are so knowledgeable with motivation, you are going to do good and you are going to achieve well. I hope you guys find it well, you understood what motivation is. And though like not on learning perspective but also on your practical life, it is going to help. I'll be very happy. Thank you for this class. We'll meet in next session.